Today I want to show you two things. One is smartlinks and the second is conditional logic emails. Now this is probably one of the most important videos you're going to see in the SurveySlam training area because it is so effective at actually getting results. If you actually want to build a relationship with your email list, then this is the way to do it. So let me briefly show you and walk you through the process. And once I've done that, I'll come back and I'll explain how you actually put all of this together. So if I go to my email inbox, we can see we've got an email from myself. Essentially, it's just a link to a survey. This is a smart link. So when I click on this link, it's going to take me to this survey. Now, with this survey, I'm not going to have to type in my name or email because I'm pulling it from ActiveCampaign and sending it through the URL to my survey. So this means all I need to do is a couple of clicks to answer this survey and my information is automatically sent back to ActiveCampaign without me having to write in my name or email. So let's go through this survey quickly and then I can show you the conditional logic email and why it's so effective. So the first question, what's another word for awesome? Let's go with amazeballs. The second question, what type of business do you run? A blog, a marketing agency, or a YouTube channel? So I'm going to say a YouTube channel. Next we have, what type of training do you need to get better results? So I'm going to say analytics and conversion tracking. This is actually a checkbox answer. That means I can answer multiple questions. So I'm also going to say I want to build high converting landing pages and I want to optimize site speed. I'm actually not going to check this bottom one, which says creating better digital products, and you'll see why in a minute. So if I select continue, it asks me what the name of my business is. So I'm going to type in Streamism and click on continue. Now, when we finished that survey, my information got sent back to ActiveCampaign and it triggered an email to be sent to me again. So if I go back to my email inbox now, we can see this email has just arrived. So we can see the subject line actually says smartlinks plus Streamism, which is the name that I typed in, equals amazeballs, which was the random word that I picked in the multiple choice options. So if I open this email up, okay, so let's quickly break down this email. So we can see at the top, I've got welcome Streamism. So I'm using the business name inside the email. Now, if you're like me, you have an amazeballs relationship with WordPress. However, I might have a few tips. Me and you have something in common. Do you know what it is? We both run YouTube channels. So YouTube was one of the multiple choice questions when I asked them what type of business they run. So now I'm engaging with them by saying, look, I also run a YouTube channel. Next, I say I put together some training for you. Click on the links below to go see it for yourself. During the survey, I asked them what kind of training they wanted. And I selected that I wanted analytics and conversion tracking training, high converting landing page training, optimizing site speed training. But I've gone a step further and actually added personalization to the end of each link. So it actually says analytics and conversion tracking for YouTube channels, which makes it even more specific to each person reading the email. So you can see the power of this, how much more engaging it is. And basically we're just using tags and custom fields that we collected with SurveySlam inside ActiveCampaign to show conditional content based on what they chose. So let's jump into SurveySlam and ActiveCampaign and show you how we actually set this up. So let's get started by looking at how to set up a smart link. Now, a smart link is essentially a link which sends people from their email straight to your survey, and it imports their name and email into the form, so they don't need to type in their name and email when it comes to them landing on your actual survey. Now, setting up a smart link is fairly simple. All you need to do is create a survey and create some text that you actually want to link to your survey from your email. Next, you want to go over to your SurveySlam dashboard, and what you want to do is find the survey that you want to send people to. And if you scroll down the page on the right hand side, near the bottom, you're going to find these smart links. And if you click on view example, where it says if you use an email service that supports name and email shortcodes, you can replace the corresponding values in the URL. Click on view example, and you're going to see here we've got a couple of examples. Now the first example basically gives you the code which you have to change yourself. So where you see this shortcode here for name and this one here for email, you would have to change this for the shortcode that your email marketing platform gives you. We've also got a couple of done for you ones. This one's for Active Campaign. And you can see here, this is actually the shortcode that Active Campaign uses to insert someone's name. And this is the one for their email. We also have an example for Drip. So if you're using Drip, you can literally just paste this entire link directly into your email campaign, and that will sort out your smart link. However, there's one thing to note. These links here will actually link to the SurveySlam survey page. If you're using an embeddable form, like the one we have on our sales page here, this is essentially embedded onto the page. Instead of actually using the permalink up here, you would actually take your main URL and then you would add the code onto the end of it. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if you're using an embed, go back down to the examples. Now, for example, I use Active Campaign. So what I want to do is copy this URL. I'm going to open up a blank Word document. And all we need to do is take this last string of letters here. And we're going to paste that onto the end of the URL we actually want to send people to. So you want to make sure it's just a single dash up there. So now we're going to take this URL and we are going to go back over to Active Campaign. I'm going to highlight the text. I'm going to click on the link button. And you can see up here, I've actually already filled this in. But this is sending people directly to the SurveySlam survey page. So I want to send people to my sales page. So as you can see here, this is the URL to the sales page on its own. And this is the text string that we need to add on to our URL. So once you add on that text string, you can basically send people to any page you want, as long as there's a SurveySlam form. You just have to make sure this string is on the end. So all you need to do is click OK, and you are done. Basically, when someone receives this email and they click on this link, they'll be sent to my sales page, and their name and email is going to be imported directly into any SurveySlam forms on that page. And that means if someone fills in this top survey, their name and email field, the sequence which appears at the end of this sequence, it won't appear for them. It will just jump straight to the redirect. Also, if I had other SurveySlam forms on this page, like an exit intent pop-up or another example further down the page, they would all be pre-populated with their name and email. So that's how it works. If you want more information, you can check out the knowledge base. But let's move on to conditional emails. Okay, so inside SurveySlam, what we want to do is go down to the options, and we can see for the first question, we had a group of different words: fantastic, amazeballs, badamataz. Now, what you need to know is, how do you actually want to use this data? Do you want it as a tag, or do you want it as a custom field? Now, here's how I look at it. If I want to change a single word in an email to be one of these words, I'm going to use a custom field. If I want to change a whole block of content or a whole paragraph, I'm going to use a tag. This will make more sense in a minute. So I basically set all of these words up with a custom field. So we can see if I click on fantastic and I scroll down here, we can see I've set it to a random custom field and I put in the value as fantastic. So I'm just copying the same word over. I do the same for each one. Amazeballs, it's got the same custom field with the value, which is the same as the text. Lovely, same again. So you get the idea. I'm using the same custom field and I'm putting in different words. So if I was to select to use a custom field inside my email, it would pull this value and put it into the email. So if you're changing like a single word in a sentence, this is how you would do that. So next I ask for what type of business do you run? So again, obviously here I'm using a custom field again, but because it's an open-ended answer, people actually type in the answer. You don't type in a value. You actually can't type in a value. So we just pull the information they type in and we send that through to ActiveCampaign. And next we have what type of business do you run? So for this example, I'm actually using both. I'm using a custom field and a tag. So we can see down here I've got custom field set to business type and the value I'm putting it in as blogs. See, I've actually added an S on the end because that's how it works when I'm actually using it inside the email campaign. But I've got a different word for the actual answer. So I've basically done that with all of them. We can see down here as well. It's the same business type, the same custom field, which is business type, and adding in a value. And we've got one more, which is the what type of training do you want to receive? And I've used checkboxes for this one, and this is all done through tags. So that was pretty much it inside SurveySlam. There's one more thing which you should bear in mind, and that is in the end result section. What you will want to do is apply a tag. And this basically is the tag that you can use to trigger the campaign for the next email that comes out. So when someone signs up to your list or goes through a survey, you want to trigger another campaign to start, which will have your conditional logic email. So let's jump over to ActiveCampaign and have a look at the campaign. So you can see up here I've got this tag which starts off the campaign. So I'm going to set that to once. We can see it's called test smart link. So if we go back to the survey, we can see down here we've got test smart link. So when this form is completed, this campaign begins. So after that, we've got our email being sent straight away. So if we open up this email, we're going to take a quick look. So there's two main things that are happening in this email. We're using custom fields to swap out words, and we're using tags, which are basically showing specific content. So you can see up here, the first one we use is welcome business name. So that obviously gets replaced with the business name you type in. So for example, I typed in Streamism. So in my email that I received, it said welcome Streamism. Now these are really easy to change. If I was to delete this and type it in, if I was to type in hello Streamism, basically what we would do is type in hello, and then we go up to this little personalized box up the top, and we find our custom field, which is business name. So that's it. So you can put in hello business name. Now that will be changed out. So you can see down here, we've also got, if you're like me, I have a custom field relationship with WordPress. Now this custom field was the custom field with all the random words in, which was at the beginning of my survey. Fantastic, amazeballs, badamataz. So I'm just using that word to give you a general idea of how custom fields work. So that was the same again. So if I wanted to find that custom field, I just click on personalize and find the custom field. So that's pretty simple. You can see we've got the same thing going on down here with business type. I won't explain that again. You've already got the gist of it. Next we have the links. Now this is a little bit more complicated. So what I have basically done is created a separate block for each link. Now for each link we can add conditions. So you can see down here, manage conditions. What you want to do is click on manage conditions, and then you can say if tag exists and is equals to the tag inside SurveySlam that you set, then this content will show. If not, nothing will show. So it's really simple to do it this way. So let's take a look at this one. So creating better digital products for business type. So if I go to where we had this set up inside SurveySlam, creating better digital products, you can see the tag I put in is test creating. So if we go back over here and we click on manage conditions, we can see if tag exists and is equal to test creating, then this content will show. Pretty simple, right? So basically to create this block, all I did was type in the text and then apply a link to it. I also added a custom field to the end. So you can add in the custom field the same way as I showed you earlier. So you basically just type in, find the custom field that you're looking for in the drop down box. So I can't remember what custom field I called it, business type, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so business type. You will notice it loses styling because ActiveCampaign doesn't have the best builder in the world, I'll be honest. It can be a bit of a pain, but the functionality of ActiveCampaign is amazing. So pros and cons, pros and cons. Anyway, so we're going to bold that and then we add our link to the content that we created. And that is essentially it. That's how you create conditional content emails, which are extremely engaging. I hope you liked the video and I'll see you next time.